The night my sister and my boyfriend got engaged, I was robbed, raped, and dismembered. Before I died, I called my mom. My mom just told me never to come back. As they wished, I will never return home again. Because I'm already dead. Dead on the night my sister got engaged to my boyfriend, after being raped and dismembered. The night my sister and my boyfriend got engaged, I was robbed, raped, and stabbed 17 times. Before I died, I dialed my mom's number. On the other end, my mom yelled, "Lily, all we asked for was a kidney from you and for you to let your sister have your boyfriend. You couldn't even come to her engagement. Don't ever come back again." As my mom wished, I will never return home again. Because I am already dead, dead on the night my sister got engaged to my boyfriend, after being raped and dismembered. Half a month later, when my parents were banging on my apartment door, the landlord came out. "What do you want?" "The person living here died a while ago." My parents didn't believe it. "She's just hiding so she doesn't have to donate her kidney to her sister. We raised her all these years. Believe what you want. Never seen parents like you, cussing your daughter when she's dead." The landlord stood up for me, shoving all my belongings into my parents' arms. It was just a small cardboard box. My parents took the box, their faces dark, and after calling me a few more times with no answer, they left, cursing. As for me, I was floating in midair, my soul out of control, following my parents. When we got home, my sister Emily and my boyfriend, now Emily's fiancé Bill, came over. Emily looked innocent and weak. "Is Lily still not back? It's all my fault. If it wasn't for me needing her kidney and falling in love with Bill, Lily wouldn't be this mad. She's just being petty. Giving you a kidney isn't a big deal. What, does she want to watch her sister die?" My mom snapped. "Yeah, that girl has been selfish and mean since she was a kid. Trying to steal her sister's boyfriend, she's spoiled rotten." My dad was angry too, throwing my box of things into a corner. Bill just raised his eyebrows. "I left Lily because I couldn't stand her selfishness and cruelty. I only love your kindness and purity. Lily is the one at fault. Don't blame yourself for anything." The whole family gathered around Emily, holding a meeting to criticize me. I was floating above them, my soul numb, not wanting to argue. Since I was young, my parents always favored Emily. They only wanted one precious daughter, and I was the unwanted extra. I was born when my dad's business failed, and my mom lost her job because of me. What was once a wealthy family fell into ruin because of my arrival. My parents thought I brought all this upon them. They never wanted another child, and with all the misfortune my birth brought, they disliked me even more. Emily was their treasure. I was the unwanted weed. From childhood, Emily got all the love, and I got blamed for all the bad. To my parents, I was selfish, cruel, their unlucky burden. My boyfriend Bill and I had been together since college. He held my hand back then, telling me he'd never met a girl like me, always like a scared little deer. He said he'd give me a sense of security and be with me forever. But that changed the first time I brought him home and he met Emily. At the dinner table, Emily whispered in my ear, "Lily, I want your boyfriend. Just like with Mom and Dad, he's mine now." After that, with her usual innocent act and my parents' help, Emily quickly won Bill over. In their story, I was always the cunning, evil one who did bad things. Emily was always the pure, kind sister who suffered under my cruelty, always loving me despite it all. But the truth was, Emily did all those things and pinned them on me. I still remember when I was 8, Emily whispered threateningly, "Lily, why did you even have to be born? If it weren't for you, I'd be the one and only little princess at home. From now on, I'll take everything from you, including our parents." Then, Emily smashed Mom's jade bracelet and ran out crying, blaming me. It happened so many times, I went from protesting to staying silent. No one ever believed me. Until I met Bill. I thought he would save me, but he frowned at me. "Lily, Emily is your sister and she's sick. Can't you stop being so cruel to her?" Seeing the bruises on Emily's arm that she made herself, I stayed silent. Nothing I said would change their minds. Even Bill didn't believe me. Emily was perfect, frail and kind, an innocent angel. And I was the cruel, selfish one, resented by everyone. After Emily took Bill, I moved out to silently protest, but for over a month after moving out, no one noticed. That family only needed Emily. They never cared if I was there or not. Until Emily fell sick and urgently needed a kidney. Then they remembered their other daughter. It's been more than half a month since the break-in, and my parents still haven't realized I'm dead. They keep calling and calling, but no one answers. Emily couldn't wait any longer. This Lily, we're all blocked just so she won't have to donate a kidney. Dad almost smashed the phone in anger. The kid has been bad from the start. We shouldn't have had her. Thank goodness we have Emily. Mom's face darkened. Emily was standing on the side, looking innocent and pitiful, tears streaming down. It's my fault. I shouldn't have fought with Lily over Bill, which made her angry and not want to donate her kidney to me. Bill, feeling sorry for Emily, wiped her tears. It's not your fault. You're still speaking up for her, but she holds a grudge against you and doesn't want to save you. After saying that, Bill picked up his phone, knowing I wouldn't answer, and sent me a message. I floated over and saw the message. Lily, how can you be so heartless and cruel? Your sister is about to die, and you're hiding. Come back now. It's my fault. I'm the one who shifted my feelings to your sister. It has nothing to do with her. If you want to blame someone, blame me. Just donate your kidney to Emily first. Come back. If you donate your kidney, we won't blame you. I suddenly felt like laughing. I'm already dead, and none of them care about my whereabouts. They only care if I return to donate my kidney to Emily. It's like everything's my fault, parents' favoritism, my boyfriend being taken away, not donating my kidney. On the 20th day of my disappearance, when they really couldn't find me, my parents started a live stream, hoping public pressure would force me to show up. In the live stream, Mom and Dad cried into the camera, saying that their younger daughter knew her sister needed a kidney or she'd die, yet she hid at the crucial moment to avoid donating her kidney. And my sister, who was always good at pretending to be innocent and weak, deliberately painted her face pale. Don't blame Lily, just me for having bad luck and a poor body. She's always been competitive, and I won't take her kidney. I only hope she comes home and doesn't make our parents sad. The topic was too explosive. Over 10,000 people rushed in, commenting non-stop. Someone said, a younger sister watching an elder sister die. What kind of woman is she? If we don't find her, everyone here is responsible. I heard Lily had a boyfriend, but now he's with her sister because he couldn't stand her. Oh my God, her parents and boyfriend say she's selfish and evil. Looks like this Lily really isn't a good person. How does she even deserve to live? The comments in the live stream were getting more and more out of hand. Even as a soul, I couldn't bear to look. Such evil. Lily deserves to die, not Emily. Looking online, when will Lily die? I'll send a wreath. The malicious cyberbullying hit me hard. I clutched my chest in pain. I thought I wouldn't be hurt by harsh words anymore. But even in death, I found no peace. Then I saw Bill outside the live stream camera, taking out his phone to message me. Lily, you saw the live stream, right? If you don't come out, don't blame us for being nasty. I suddenly wanted to cry but realized a soul has no tears. The live stream continued. To force me out to donate my kidney, my parents recounted my supposed evil deeds from childhood, making me out to be a monster. Emily stood beside them, playing the role of a resentful, innocent victim who couldn't bear to reveal her sister's wickedness. Despite their accusations, all those evil deeds were actually Emily's. As the malicious comments snowballed, more details of my life were unearthed. Suddenly, a comment appeared. My uncle works at the police station. They said Lily died 20 days ago. The comment was quickly dismissed, replaced by others. How much were you paid to make up such lies? That person persisted. Seriously, I asked. Over 20 days ago, Lily was robbed, raped, tortured, dismembered, and brutally killed. They even attached a screenshot of the news report. The comments went silent. After a while, someone responded, "It's true." More people started chiming in. Lily died a horrible death 20 days ago. Her family didn't know and kept pushing her to donate a kidney to Emily. Is Lily even their biological daughter? Forcing her sister to donate a kidney, taking her boyfriend, this Emily seems like a bitch, not a good person. Comments began to flip quickly. Those who had cursed me harshly now changed their tune after hearing of my death soon. The live stream was filled with comments. Do you know Lily is dead? My parents sat in front of the camera, stunned, reading the comments with disbelief. Lily, is she really dead? Seeing this, Emily quickly shut down the live stream. Mom, Dad, don't be fooled. She's doing this on purpose, blaming me for taking Bill and not donating a kidney. Bill repeatedly called me, getting no answer, then angrily smashed his phone. I watched coldly, without any expression. Dear Mom and Dad, it's the 20th day since I was raped, dismembered, and killed. You finally know I'm no longer alive. After the live stream, they were still in shock, except for Emily. No, I have to go out and look for Lily again. If she hasn't shown up this long, something must have happened, right? Mom looked worried. I'll go to the police station and ask. Dad showed some rare concern for me. Even Bill stayed silent, tight-lipped. It was his way of showing tension. Emily, noticing their worry, said softly, when she was 10, jealous of my second place in the district painting contest, Lily wrote a suicide note and ran away for a night. We found her at the convenience store near home. Will she pull the same trick again this time? My soul was screaming, it's not like that. When I was 10 years old, I won second place. It was Emily who swapped our works the day before submission. After winning, she forged my suicide note and then locked me out all night. That winter night, I stood at the door, pounding and begging Emily to let me in, or I'd freeze to death. But Emily was ruthless. Through the door, she said, Lily, why are you extra but better than me at everything? Go die. Mom and Dad were busy with business and didn't come back until the next morning. Taking Emily's twisted story as truth, they found me at the neighborhood convenience store and slapped me first thing. Lily, if it weren't for you, would our family be in this state? Your mom and I worked so hard, and you had to go and get jealous of your sister, pretending to commit suicide? Why don't you just die outside? Crying with my hand on my cheek, I pleaded, it's not like that, Mom, Dad, it's Emily. Emily ran over from a distance and hugged me, crying like she would faint. Lily, how could you think of doing something so stupid? If you want to win, I'll give it to you. But how could you run away and threaten suicide? Do you know how heartbroken this will make Mom and Dad? I knew no one would believe me, no matter how I argued. My parents' faces grew darker with each of Emily's sobs. Since then, the mark of being jealous and selfish has only deepened in my parents' minds. Hearing Emily mention the incident when I was 10, my parents hesitated. This kid has always been petty. Is she intentionally spreading false rumors to avoid us? Dad pondered. Should we go look for her? Mom's voice softened a bit. Bill picked up his jacket from the chair, ready to go find me. Mom, Dad, my chest hurts. At that moment, Emily clutched her chest and fainted. The three of them scrambled to rush Emily to the hospital for a series of tests, and everyone forgot about finding me. You see, anytime Emily feels the slightest bit unwell, even my life is less important than hers. I floated above the hospital room, watching that loving family, and suddenly felt relieved. Relieved that I died early. Otherwise, seeing this scene would have been so painful. No, it probably wouldn't be painful, because I've long been numb. Like when I was taking the college entrance exam, knowing my parents were supposed to take me to the test center, but Emily feigned a cold and fever, coaxing Mom and Dad to stay with her, not caring if I could even make it on time. In my parents' eyes, my life, my future, was never more important than Emily's little cold. In the hospital room, the doctor announced that they urgently needed a kidney transplant for Emily. The family fell into silence again. Bill texted me, Lily, are you still around? Your sister's not going to make it. Can you come back and save her? If you return, I'll get back together with you. His tone was full of condescension. Too bad, I no longer wanted it, nor could I have it. Emily's condition deteriorated rapidly. Without a suitable kidney, she wouldn't last long. Unable to find me, my parents eventually went to the police station. When they learned from the police that I had already died, they were stunned for half a day. Lily is really dead? Why didn't anyone inform us? Dad asked in a daze. You forget, Lily's household registration was moved out a long time ago. Legally, we have no relationship with her. Mom's gaze was vacant. Both felt a bit guilty. Yes, when I was 20, my parents forcibly moved my household registration out, severing all legal ties with me. It was only because the neighborhood we lived in was undergoing demolition they feared I might claim some of the compensation money with Emily, so they forcibly moved out my registration and severed our legal family ties. I cried, telling them I didn't want a penny, just not to abandon me. I'll never forget how my parents repulsively pushed me away. Lily, we've done our duty raising you. From now on, everything is your sister's. Don't even think about competing with her. Just consider yourself parentless and move on. At 20, I had parents but lived as if I didn't. Maybe from the moment I was born, I never had a family. Because of this, when I died, the police notified my best friend Susan to handle everything. Knowing my relationship with my family, Susan didn't inform my parents. After confirming my death, my parents and Bill reluctantly left Emily at the hospital to see Susan. Seeing my parents, Susan's face turned cold. Lily's been dead a month. You so-called parents and ex-boyfriend are finally here. Susan, where's Lily's ashes? Give them to us, I want to take her home. Dad's expression was humble. Home? What home? Didn't you disown her? Said she had no parents anymore? Susan retorted. Lily is still our daughter, Mom tried to salvage. Your daughter is only Emily, right? Who still remembers Lily? Susan spat angrily. How did Lily die? Bill's eyes reddened. Susan finally broke. How did she die? When you swore to love Emily forever, when Lily used the last bit of her strength to call her dear mom one last time, her mom told her to never come home again, while a thug was assaulting her, stabbing her repeatedly, cutting her to pieces. Dad's body suddenly shook, and this big man collapsed instantly. Mom let out a sharp scream, a heart-wrenching cry burst from her throat. Bill's fingers trembled, and his eyes turned red. On the 30th day after I died, they finally realized that the annoying Lily was really gone forever. Lily's ashes were gone, I spread them into the sea as per her wish. Susan's voice trembled. Lily said she didn't want to trouble you guys, even in death. She feared you'd find her unlucky. After being completely abandoned by my parents, I told Susan that if I died, to scatter my ashes in the sea. Don't bother my parents. They didn't like me and wouldn't want my ashes. They might even think it was bad luck. A loud roar echoed. My 6-foot-tall dad heard Susan's last words and broke down, covering his face and sobbing. Lily, we wronged you. My mom almost fainted and was barely supported by Bill. Bill choked. Lily, I was wrong. If you could come back, I wouldn't abandon you. But it's too late, I'm already dead. I floated in the air, watching the three below, the pain in my heart slowly fading. Back at the hospital, all three were silent. Sensing something was wrong, Emily cautiously asked, Dad, Mom, is Lily really gone? Seeing no answer, Emily complained, that Lily, always causing trouble, still pretending to scare Mom and Dad. Shut up. Dad's roar erupted, the first time he ever shouted at Emily. Mom cried again, Lily, she's really dead. Emily froze. She could fight and scheme against the living, but how could she compete with someone dead? Emily, unwilling, reverted to her usual weak and innocent look, tears streaming down. Lily's really dead? How did she die? Bill stared blankly at Emily. She died the night of our engagement, during a home invasion, raped and murdered. Emily stiffened again. She's dead? What about my kidney? Her words left Dad, Mom, and Bill all frozen, staring at her. Dad slapped Emily's face, shouting, "Your sister's dead, and you're still thinking about her kidney." Emily, pampered since childhood, was stunned by the slap. She turned to Mom. Mom turned away, ignoring Emily's pleading eyes. "Emily, you've really disappointed us." Never treated this way by her parents, Emily couldn't take it. Tears fell as she pulled Bill's arm. "Bill." Bill abruptly shook off Emily's hand. "I remember the landlord returned Lily's belongings. I want to see them." Dad, Mom, and Bill returned home and dug out a cardboard box from the storage room. The box, long buried, was covered in dust. Gazing at it, they hesitated. Finally, Bill reached out and opened the box. Inside were my various awards and medals from childhood. Dad picked up each one, his voice choking. "I never knew Lily won so many awards. I always thought she was lazy and aimless." Of course, they didn't know how good I was. When I first won a math competition, overjoyed, I brought my medal home, only to be stopped by Emily. "What's there to be proud of, winning a medal? With me around, you think Mom and Dad will even look at it?" Emily's eyes were confident. So that night, when I carefully took out my medal, Emily framed me for dating and loafing around without asking me. Mom and Dad snatched the medal and smashed it over my head. "So young and already misbehaving, dating thugs? Why can't you be responsible like your sister?" The medal's edge cut my forehead, drawing blood, and shattered on the floor. Emily stepped in. "Don't be mad at Lily. It's my fault as her older sister. I'll keep a closer eye on her." Soothed by Emily's understanding, they took her out for a feast, leaving me punished and without dinner. After that, I never shared any awards with them. They didn't care and wouldn't believe it anyway. Beneath the awards were my blood donation certificates and volunteer proofs. Mom, holding the youth and volunteer awards, couldn't contain herself. My Lily was so excellent and kind. I always called her selfish. Underneath, faded papers recorded various remedies for stomachaches. Seeing the remedies, Dad paused, his expression pained. Lily was telling the truth. The medicinal soups were really made by her for me. Dad had stomach issues from work stress. To help, I visited many doctors and compiled remedies to make those soups. But Emily stole them secretly, and even the soups I made became credited to her. Dad's hand trembled holding the papers. My Lily, how many things were hidden from us, how much did she endure? Under the remedies was a ceramic doll, broken and meticulously repaired by me. Mom held the doll, lost in thought. It was my 10th birthday gift from her. She said the doll looked like me, quiet and gentle. I remember receiving the first gift from Mom. I was thrilled. My happiness was contagious. Mom, perhaps aware that she had neglected me, became uncharacteristically gentle. She patted my head and asked, "What do you want for dinner?" Emily, on the other hand, looked at us with jealousy. She couldn't handle Mom being close to me. She feared that we might become even closer. So, while Mom went out to buy groceries, Emily smashed my doll and damaged her own piano. She then ran out, crying, to tell Mom that I was angry at the unfair treatment. She said Emily received a grand piano while I got a broken doll and that I smashed the doll in a fit of rage. When Mom returned, all she saw was the broken piano and the shattered doll pieces. Mom was furious. "Lily, I've been feeling guilty towards you, and you still haven't changed your ways." From that day on, Mom distanced herself from me. She frowned every time she saw me. I tried to explain, but she wouldn't listen. When I approached her, she walked away. In the end, I picked up the pieces of the doll bit by bit. It took a long time, but I managed to fix it and treasured it dearly. Mom then held the doll against her face, murmuring, "Lily, I misunderstood you. You really care about the gift I gave you." She then remembered the years of neglect and misunderstandings. Mom broke down and cried. Under the doll was a notice for a miscarriage operation. Bill's heart skipped a beat as he picked it up. The date was 6 months ago, the same day Bill broke up with me and called me evil for Emily's sake. Half a year ago, I was pregnant with Bill's child. Just when I was happily envisioning our future, Bill suddenly turned his affection towards Emily. Confused, I went to ask him why. But I found Bill kissing Emily. I felt nauseous immediately. Bill let go of Emily and looked at me with disgust. Lily, did you think I wouldn't find out about your past? Your parents told me everything. I had no idea you could be so selfish and vile. I was stunned, unsure of what my parents had said about me. Bill, don't listen to them. Bill pulled up Emily's sleeve to show me her arm, all covered in bruises and marks. Bill exclaimed angrily, Lily, Emily is your sister and she's sick. How can you treat her so badly? I couldn't take it anymore, especially with Emily's provocative glare in the background. Those were all self-inflicted. I had nothing to do with them. She's always framed me like this since childhood. They were right about you being a chronic liar, refusing to change your ways. Bill shoved me hard. I wasn't prepared. I hit the table, and pain shot through my stomach. Bill, my stomach hurts. I'm pregnant. My face was pale, and my abdomen was in agony. Emily suddenly started crying. Bill, don't be mad at Lily. She's always faked illnesses and played the victim. I'm used to it by now. Thinking I was acting, Bill didn't even spare me a glance. He left hand in hand with Emily. I called for an ambulance myself and Susan came to stay with me. That baby, Bill's baby, was lost that day. Killed by Bill himself. Holding the miscarriage notice, Bill felt his soul leave his body. Lily was telling the truth. She really was carrying my child. In the next second, Bill covered his face, tears slipping through his fingers. I killed our child. I killed my own child. Watching the three sorrowful faces below, I thought I'd feel pain too. To my surprise, I felt nothing. Maybe I've been hurt so much I'm numb. Death feels like a release. At the bottom was a diary. None of them, not my parents or Bill, had the courage to pick up that diary. With the scattered items, they began to realize how deeply they had wronged and misunderstood me due to Emily's framing over the years. If just a few objects could glimpse the immense humiliation and hurt I'd endured, what devastating truths lay in that diary. Finally, my dad slowly reached out and picked up the diary. When they returned to the hospital, the way they looked at Emily had changed. Emily panicked but tried to stay calm. Dad, Mom, what's wrong? Did you find Lily's belongings? Seeing that they ignored her, Emily turned to Bill. Bill, is there a lot of bad stuff about me and Lily's belongings? She's always lied about me since childhood. Don't believe her. A hard slap landed on Emily's face, delivered by the dad who had always cherished her. Emily, what have you done to Lily all these years? What else have you been hiding from us? Emily, clutching her face, panicked. Dad, what are you talking about? It was all Lily. I'm your favorite daughter. Mom, looking frail and broken, yes, you were our favorite. But what about my Lily? How much injustice and hurt did she endure growing up? How much pain did she feel when she died? How much pain did I feel when I died? The man invaded my body, brutally torturing me, stabbing me again and again. Listening to my mom's voice on the phone telling me never to come home again, the man laughed coldly. Even your family doesn't want you. What's the point of living? Then, he kept abusing me while slicing my body until I was in pieces. I wept, I screamed, unable to struggle. The only strength I had left was used to make one last call to my dear mom. But that phone call completely destroyed my chances of survival. Seeing her mom in such a daze, Emily panicked. Mom, Lily died trying to set me up, you have to believe me. Dad angrily threw the diary at Emily. You're still trying to lie. You think we don't know the truth? The hard corner of the diary hit Emily's forehead, drawing blood. This scene reminded me of when I was 10 years old and won my first award, and my dad didn't even look at it, hitting me with the medal and drawing blood. Emily opened the diary. Her face turned pale as she read it. After a while, she sneered, yes, I did all this. But Mom, Dad, weren't you the ones who pushed Lily into the abyss? Didn't you? Mom and Dad's expressions suddenly froze. Emily continued, there were so many things that a little thought or investigation could have revealed the truth, but you didn't want to. You didn't even want to spend an extra second listening to her side. It was you who didn't want to believe Lily, who didn't love Lily. It was you too who pushed Lily away step by step, who stacked injury upon injury on her. If I'm the executioner, then you both are the ones who handed me the knife. The truth was too brutal. Mom and Dad lunged at Emily, trying to hit her. Emily didn't dodge. The innocence was gone from her eyes, replaced with a malicious sneer. Lily was killed by you too. Mom and Dad completely broke down, collapsing to the ground. And Bill, Emily turned to him, you always claimed to love Lily. But after Mom and Dad said some misleading things and put on a few acts in front of you, you abandoned her completely. Did you really love her? Or did you just love the perfect image of her, unable to accept the flaws we described? Shut up. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have misunderstood Lily, and I wouldn't have lost our child and lost her. It's all your fault, you bitch. Bill raged, grabbing Emily by the throat. Emily could barely breathe, but her eyes still gleamed with a malicious smirk. Hit a nerve, did I? Bill, from start to finish, you only ever loved yourself. Shut up. Bill tightened his grip. Mom and Dad just stared blankly, not stepping in. Until Emily almost passed out, Bill finally let go and collapsed. The agony overwhelmed him, regret and sorrow crashed through him like waves, he could hardly breathe. He remembered the first time he saw me, I always looked like a frightened deer, full of insecurity. Bill crouched, holding his head, Lily, I knew you were pure and kind, but why did I believe others over you and push you away? How could the girl who would rescue even an injured kitten be the selfish and wicked person they portrayed? It was just me being weak, choosing to believe lies and ultimately killing our child. My soul hovered in the air, watching everything coldly. There was no pain, and no satisfaction from the truth being exposed. I seemed numb, or maybe I had let it go. If no one loves me, I will try to love myself in my next life. Seeing Mom, Dad, and Bill's agony and regret, Emily finally tore off her fake mask, revealing her true malice. Dad, if I recall correctly, when we checked for matches, it was not only Lily's kidney that was compatible, but yours too, right? Dad's head shot up. What are you implying? Emily smiled cruelly. You've already lost one daughter, do you want to lose the last one too? Mom and Bill stared at Emily in shock, full of disbelief. Emily turned away from them. The doctor said that if I don't get a suitable kidney in 3 months, I will die. Dad, you better be prepared. After the initial shock, Mom and Dad's eyes gradually lost their light, eventually going completely dark. At that moment, they realized what they had misunderstood all along, and what they had lost forever. A month later, Dad's kidney was transplanted to Emily. The surgery was successful. Besides Dad being weaker due to his age, both were fine. Due to her feelings of estrangement, Mom hired a caregiver for Emily and focused on taking care of Dad, never visiting Emily again. 2 months later, both were discharged. Emily took the money Mom and Dad had given her, and withdrew most of their savings, leaving without a word to another city. Before leaving, she tried to find Bill, but Bill avoided her, nullifying their engagement. On the day Emily left, Mom and Dad visited my grave. They had bought a burial plot for me, without ashes, placing my clothes in it instead. In just 2 months, Dad's back had bent, and the once strong, imposing man seemed to have aged overnight, like a burned-out candle. And Mom, her hair is almost completely white. They laid flowers at my grave and murmured to themselves. Lily, Mom and Dad are here to see you. This life, we failed you. We hurt you too much. We don't expect your forgiveness. We just hope you'll visit us in our dreams so we can make it up to you there. We know we were wrong, and we know how hard life was for you. We've cut ties with your sister. From now on, you are our only daughter. Lily, this life was too hard. In the next life, please don't be our daughter again. Okay, I answered from above. Dad, Mom, I won't be your daughter in the next life. I hope in our next lives, and the ones after that, we'll never meet again. After spending the afternoon, they left. After they left, a person emerged from behind the tombstone. It was Bill. Bill crouched down, touching the photo of me on the grave, looking deeply pained. "Lily, I regret it. I was wrong, I truly was. I looked down at the man I once loved, now feeling nothing. Maybe it was the moment he chose to believe Emily and killed our child that I stopped loving him." I watched Bill's regret with a cold heart, feeling no emotions, until my best friend Susan arrived. "Now that she's gone, why are you pretending to be so loving? Meeting you while alive was her biggest misfortune. Even in death, you can't let her rest in peace." Susan's words were harsh. Bill knew he shouldn't stay, and he walked away like a lifeless shell. As he walked away, I actually saw a complete deadness in his eyes. Susan wanted to throw away everything they brought, but changed her mind and left them in place. She tidied up the flowers in front of my grave. "Lily, I've come to see you." Susan opened a can of beer and poured it in front of the tombstone. "We agreed, right? This life was too hard for you. Remember to wait for me underground. In the next life, it'll be my turn to be your sister." A faint smile emerged on my lips as I softly replied, "All right." It seemed like she heard me. Susan looked up and raised her beer in a toast. "I knew you agreed. Lily, go rest in peace. Remember our promise." As I agreed to Susan, my soul got lighter and lighter, my figure becoming more and more transparent. Finally, I disappeared into the air, gone forever.